So here's another update on what's going on in the back here. So since I chopped up the mid-pipe to add the bellows, you can see a couple of bellows there and what's left of the mid-pipe. There's the other end of the mid-pipe with one bellow just positioned there. So anyways, with the addition of the bellows, it does not allow the mid-pipe to support the turbo system. What it did is the exhaust hanger that's somewhere up here in the chassis kept all of this stuff that's floating from tilting back like that, or down towards the front of the car. So as soon as I add a flex section here, that thing is no longer rigid and will allow this to move like this too freely. So I had to reestablish some mounts, and so what I did is I added this guy here, that rubber hanger. I welded this half-inch rod into the subframe, and then a rubber hanger down to this half-inch guy to the turbine housing outlet. They don't have to carry much weight at all, so this is all way overbuilt, but it'll work just fine. And then on this side, this is something I've been wanting to do anyways, is I added essentially a symmetrical mount on the other side of the exhaust with a rod going down to the passenger side or right side of the car. So now the entire system floats still, but the entire bits at the back are controlled from being able to tilt like this. So now that I have that set up, I can, my next step is to add one of these tie bars. And as I mentioned in the last video, the tie bar will essentially mount from the rear suspension subframe to the turbine housing outlet. And what this will do is this will control front to back movement, or completely constrain front to back movement of the turbo, and force all of the exhaust expansion from heat to be taken up by the bellows, and prevent any movement of this system front to back, keeping the exhaust tips positioned correctly and preventing rubbing on stuff that's nice and close. So for example, that's the rubbing that went on the e-boosters. So there'll be a tie bar on the left. After I get that mounted, I'll mount the charge plumbing back in, make sure that it clears on this side, and then I'll start to mock up and weld re-weld the mid-pipe together. And then I'll add a tie bar on this side to the charge plumbing, and that'll keep the entire system from doing this side to side. So all this controls in place to, of course, minimize NVH. So this thing spins fast. I'm sure that it adds some vibration to the vehicle. The e-boosters will be coming on and off. Those things will add vibration to the vehicle, even though they're balanced. But all of this being rubber mounted will reduce the transmission of those noises and vibration to the chassis, which ultimately you would hear in the cab. So trying to keep everything rubber mounted back here. So even this scavenge pump is rubber mounted, because again, I want this to be a daily driver and enjoyable to drive. So that's it.